Well, we've got another one of those weird time shifts where it seems certain parts of the world get things well before other parts of the world. So I'm a little late to the game on this line of figures, but I've got an entire case and a whole wave, so you know we're going to take a look at them. So let's get into this. All right, welcome to another episode of Paul's Collectibles. It's good to have you. Thanks for joining me. Today we're looking at another set of vintage collection 3 3/4 inch action figures, an entire wave, wave 46. The interesting thing about this is that if you're in the United Kingdom, they've been out for over a month now. My buddy Matt over at 0 Toys picked up a couple and did a video on them. Tim over at Bosk's Bounty, he's had these for over like a month and a half and is already on the next wave. So I'm not quite sure what's going on with Hasbro's distribution, but sometimes we get them early here in the States and sometimes we're far behind. I guess maybe they take turns or something, who knows. Hilariously, right now, the new Hasbro Black Series Scout Trooper helmet is actually out and showing up in videos in the United Kingdom, and they're not even available for pre-order in the States. So who knows? I can't wait to get that one. But enough about all that. Let's get these figures unpacked, get them in front of some lights, and take a look at this new wave of 3 3/4 inch vintage collection action figures. Okay, here's the entire wave out of the case. As you can see, you get 2 of the Tusken Raider, 1 of the Clone Trooper Howzer, 2 of the Darth Vaders. You get 2 Han Solos and 1 of the Weequay. Now, once again, I don't understand why they're doing it this way. I like that we got 2 Tuskens. That's army building. That's great. But why not 2? Maybe 3 clone Howzers, because with just a little bit of a modification, he could be an army builder. My opinion, you really only need 1 Darth Vader and 1 Han Solo, and maybe even another Weequay. But once again, they never ask me when they're packing these cases. So let's just get this assortment out and take a look at them. And as usual, we're going to do what I call my first to worst on this is now. Once again, I'm really happy with this wave and they all look really good. Just a quick overall, the card backs are awesome. This is a great, wonderful assortment of different types of characters for everybody. We got Empire, we got Clone Wars, we got the Rebels, we got Tatooine, you name it. But I just still have to pick them by my favorite. So we'll start off with the Tusken Warrior. Okay, there she is, the Tusken Warrior figure from the Book of Boba Fett. She's got the light green name pill and the light green background, and that is just an awesome card. It looks like a picture right from the series. I love how she's looking into the camera. There's a couple of other Tusken Raiders off in the background. And I remember when we were doing our Book of Boba Fett show, I remember thinking to myself, this Tusken Warrior is a straight badass, and I hope we get a figure of her, and look at that. I'll be darned if we didn't. Great looking card though. Let's get a better look at that figure. So there's a close-up look at the Tusken Warrior figure, and this is one of the most intricate figures I have seen in a long while. She has the horns coming out of the top of her headdress here. Her face mask is incredibly detailed. Coming on down, that looks like it's some sort of like a rigid plastic, not soft goods. Then she's got the plastic body with the necklace, and then she has the whole thing on the front here. It looks almost like a Native American like a set dressing there, or front dressing. Then it's got the soft goods cape, the very dainty female arms, and it comes with the gaffy stick. That figure is just incredibly well done. And coupled with the fact that I thought that it was just an awesome character, I really, really like that figure, and that's gonna be my number 1. And the Tusken Warrior is VC279. Next up we have Clone Captain Howzer from the Bad Batch TV show. He was originally released as a part of a set, and they called him Clone Captain Ballast, and then we watched the TV show and he actually has the name Howzer, so that's nice that they fixed that here. It's that skinny jeans model of clone, I think. Not entirely sure, but he does have the removable helmet, which was going to make it look really big on him. Now, I don't know if you're noticing this, and it happened to all my cards. Every one of them where they pack them has this damage from the bubble of the other figure that was pressed up against it. So maybe if, for you guys that are really serious about that kind of thing, luckily I don't get these graded because that would be a huge detriment, and you can really see that. Maybe Hasbro could think about putting pieces of tissue or something in between them, but every one of them has that same mark, and some of the cards are even dented a little bit. But overall, that's a good looking card back. I really enjoy that. I enjoy this guy's greenish tint as well. It's a good looking clone, one of the first clones in the series to have his own opinions about stuff and to start the rebellion. But let's get a good look at that figure. So I really enjoyed this figure, and to be honest with you, it was a toss-up between this one and the Tusken Warrior, but I went ahead and went with the Tusken Warrior because it was such a unique character as well. But this looks pretty much like the rest of the clone bodies we've been getting, just a different paint job. He's got the pauldron on there and the removable helmet, like I mentioned, and then his blaster. Nothing to get really excited about. We have a ton of clones, but as you're well aware, I'm a trooper guy, so give me all the clones you want and I'll keep buying them. But he's really good looking. Looks like the face is the same sculpt as well. And he's got a little bit of weathering in his green stripes just to keep it realistic looking. And Clone Captain Howzer is VC210, so I have to look, but I think he might have the same number as Ballast, and they just put a new name on it because we're way past 210. That's interesting. We'll have to see. Next up, we have everybody's favorite bad guy, Darth Vader, but this time from Death Star 2, Return of the Jedi. And unlike the first two figures, these next ones are all from the Return of the Jedi 40th anniversary, so they have the little logo up here. But what a great card back. It's got the yellow name pill, yellow figure back, and of course there's Sebastian. Goodness, I forgot the actor's name that played him very briefly in the suit. And this one, look at that, is really pronounced, the bubble damage on the card. Wow, that would upset some people who are seriously into the quality of their card backs. But great card. I know a lot of people were super excited for this figure, so he's kind of great to have. But let's get a good look at what's going on in this bubble. Now, first off, I love the fact that his helmet comes off in two pieces. He's also got the lightsaber ignited. He's got the hilt here, and he's got the detached hand with the wrist up there. I'm guessing that's probably a small magnet or something that you use to attach it. But wow, what a lot of accessories. What a great figure. It is really detailed as well. I mean, we've had a couple of good Darth Vaders come out recently, and this one really is giving them a run for their money. Now, the question that I have, and if you want, maybe comment in the comments below, I think that head sculpt looks a little bit more like Hayden Christensen. I mean, if you look at that, it really does. I think they kind of modeled the face off of Hayden Christensen as the actor, since he's actually in the Darth Vader suit recently. So that's interesting to see. But overall, stunning Darth Vader. Probably one of the best, if not the best, we've gotten in the line, and definitely lately. That Rogue One Darth Vader was good looking, man. This, like I said, it really gives it some competition. And Darth Vader from Death Star 2 is VC280. Next up, we have Han Solo from Return of the Jedi on the 40th anniversary card back with the logo. Red, deep red name pill, deep red figure back. And what a great photo that is. I think that might actually be from the scene that was cut where they had much more extensive footage showing the rebels going through the bunker on Endor. But look at that, ready for action, got the pistol out, Han Solo, iconic character, iconic figure. I know I have this way down towards the end, but that doesn't mean that I don't love this figure and I don't love the iconic character. Overall, that's just a stunning piece to have, even including the little dent here from the bubble once again. So let's get a look at that figure and see what we think. Okay, it's just Han Solo in there with his blaster, and he's got the long sleeve shirt on like he did in Return of the Jedi with the newer looking vest. And I'm trying to decide what I think of that head sculpt. And I gotta be honest with you, I know they have a heck of a time at this scale with the head sculpts, but that looks pretty good. So I'm gonna give him a high grade on that. It doesn't look exactly like Harrison Ford, but wow, that's really close and it's really good. His hair is a little molded looking, but I mean, that's what his hair looked like back in 1983 as well. That was the style. But once again, great detail on the vest, great detail down the pants line. It's got the belt with all the little silver accents on it. I mean, you guys have heard me just gush about these vintage collection figures and the detail they can get at such a small, minute scale, and it's just beautiful. And over here, he's even got his droid collar. Look at that. Great figure. You gotta love it. And Han Solo from Return of the Jedi is VC281. And then finally, last but not least, we have the Weequay from Return of the Jedi. And I know especially for you guys that have the skiff or the Jabba sail barge that was a Hasbro Pulse exclusive. What do you call those things where they do the crowdfunding? But anyway, or if you have that new set that's coming up, we're going to get it. Getting as many of these denizens that go into those is probably just making you very happy, especially since we have the 4-pack coming as well here soon with all of these characters from around Jabba and all his goons, as I like to call it. And this one is no exception. They did a really good job on this. First of all, look at the card. I mean, come on, that is just awesome. Obviously a screen grab of the skiff there. This one's damaged as well from the bubble, wow. But just great, I love that light blue background as well. Everything that's associated with that scene with that light blue background, just for some reason looks really good to me. Kind of the yellowish orange name pill, yellowish orange figure back. But let's get a look at what's in that bubble. Okay, pleasingly, this guy comes with a couple of accessories. He's got this big pike and he's got his blaster, just like he's kind of holding in the picture there. And for the amount of detail that is on this guy's head, look at how they did that head sculpt. That is just amazing. Now, let's talk about the hair for a second. It's kind of like a big ponytail here, very lush, but in the picture, he's got like braids or something. So I'm wondering if they didn't do that on purpose or what. Probably because those will probably break off for the people that take them out. So he's kind of got a lush ponytail, not super accurate to what we see in the picture, but still good looking. And coming on down, he's got the great tunic, the belt with the pouches on it and the great gold accent there. All of this is like the plastic, the kind of the puffy, I don't know, pirate shirt it looks like with the sleeves there. Coming on down the legs and the feet look really good. The only thing I think they really could have done here, and man, it's really hard to give or to say anything negative or even, you know, critical of this figure because that head sculpt is just beautiful, is they probably should have done some sort of wash. If you look at the picture versus his tunic here and his pants, he's a little too clean. So for those of you who are openers, I would hit him with a light dark wash just to give that some relief and give it a little depth as opposed to what you're seeing on the figure here. But overall, once again, not a bad figure at all. Now my least favorite of the wave, but I'm still glad to have him. And the Weequay is obviously a repack because he's VC107. And there you have it, just a quick look at wave 46 of the vintage collection. These figures have been out in the United Kingdom, as I mentioned earlier, for about a month and a half in some instances, and I just got my case yesterday, so we're gonna go over them anyway. That's what we do here at Paul's Collectibles. I appreciate you joining me, and if you're not a subscriber, maybe consider doing that. It's a great way to support my efforts here at Paul's Collectibles, and if you're already a subscriber or someone who's been watching my videos for quite a while, you know I greatly appreciate you. And with that, I'll see you on the next video.